Okay. Hello everyone. So let us get to the third demo session today. So before that, let us recap what happened yesterday. So yesterday, we have seen setting up the environment. So as part of environment setup, we have seen that we need to enable certain services, like we need to enable the decisioning services by doing the node classification. So then we have also seen how to configure Cassandra database. What is the purpose of Cassandra database? Then we have seen how to configure this context dictionary. What is context? What is primary context? What is secondary context? What is associated context? Where do we configure the context dictionary? So this is what we have seen in the yesterday's session. Today, let us go ahead and let us start creating our first decisioning application. Okay, so as usual, I have logged into CDH. I click on Intelligence Prediction Studio. Then I switch to the Dev Studio. So creating our first decisioning application is same as creating your PRPC application. Okay, so that is not different. But the only difference here is the decisioning application can be created using a wizard. Okay, decisioning application will be created using a wizard, but that wizard is not there for Pega. Okay, so let us see how do we create that. So what I do, I come here, I click on new application. See, by the time you create a new application, you should make sure that your customer data, associated data, everything is available. You should make sure that the context dictionary is configured. That's what you have to make sure. Okay, so now what you need to say is select Pega customer decision hub. So then you select Pega customer decision hub, build with Pega customer decision hub. So then we need to select launch CDH setup wizard. So this is the wizard which I am talking about in the yesterday session, where you can create the application using this wizard itself. Okay, so now I click on the next button. So as part of this new application, we are going to create a banking application. Okay, we are going to create a banking application. So I will give the organization name as, let us say, Harsha Trainings, application name as ABC. Okay, I'm giving the application name as ABC. So then I click on next. Now whatever the application that you are going to create, under which domain that application comes under. So like I told you, I'm creating a banking application. So banking application comes under retail banking. So I'm selecting the retail banking here. Then I just click on the next button. Okay, so depending on the type of business, you need to select the appropriate domain. So why this is important means the Pega creates two things in the backend. First is car model. So what is this car model means? Car stands for customer analytics record. Okay, so if you just try to search in the Google, like for example, I will search for communications car Pega. So you can see that there is a marketplace, there is a marketplace component is there. Okay, or you can say like for example telecom car. Okay, telecom X car, I'll say. Okay, you need to say X car. Okay, telecom X car. I'm just searching. Yeah, this is the one here. Um, if you just come here, right? Yeah. So what is this means? Actually, this is nothing but a data model that is supplied by Pega for our applications. That means for every industry, okay, for every industry, Pega has provided some marketplace component. Okay, Pega has provided one marketplace component like this. Okay, so what does this component do is this component will install all the OOTB properties specific to that particular domain. For example, you see I have financial services data model. So if I download this and if I install this in Pega, it will create all the classes and properties related to financial services. Financial services means banking related properties like OOTB properties, like for example, monthly EMI, credit card price, credit card EMI, debit card EMI, personal loan amount, loan monthly EMI, loan annual EMI, loan annual interest. So whatever general properties are there for a bank, so those properties and classes will be installed in your application. So depending on whichever type of domain that you use, for example, you are working for a telecom project, you need to download the telecom data model. Okay, if you are working for a bank, then you can download this financial services data model and you have to install it in the application. But starting from 8.7 onwards, automatically based on the selection that you do here, Pega will install that particular domain's car. Car means customer analytics record. Xcar means extended extended customer analytics record. Okay, that is nothing but the Xcar. So basically what does it contain is it will contain the data model. Data model means all the properties, all the classes and the columns, tables, everything will be created in the application. Okay, so that is what this particular selection will do in the backend. That is, it's going to install the car. Car is nothing but the customer analytics record, which is simply in our terms, it is nothing but a data model. Data model means all the classes, tables, properties, all those things. So depending on the type of domain, that particular car will be installed. So I hope that you understood. If not, just let me know. So then it's going to create a separate repository for our application where you can actually store the interaction history data. See, like I told you, you will be getting millions of interactions, thousands of data, right? So if you are getting huge amount of data, it is not suggested to store that directly in the local database. So what it is doing is it is going to create a separate repository where we can export the decisions and interactions. Okay, decisions means whatever Pega is suggesting to the customer. Interaction means whatever the customers interacted with that decision. Okay, for example, let us say Pega is suggesting two next best actions. One is the iPhone offer, second is the Samsung phone offer. Okay, Pega suggested two next best actions, iPhone and Samsung phone. Those two are called as decisions. Now, out of these two, customer accepted iPhone. So that is called as interaction. So there is one interaction and two decisions. Okay, understood or not? See, if you are not able to understand, let me know. So decisions here is nothing but whatever we are suggesting to customer. Interactions are what the customer has reverted back. whichever he is interested or whichever he has seen, that is the interaction here. If the customer interacted with both, then there will be two interactions. Okay. Yeah, so then we are reviewing the configuration before we process. So this is our application name, organization name, application name, repository, then the xcar that will be downloaded. So this is the xcar and this is the NBAD template. So previous to 8.7, if you are working on this, you have to download these two things and you have to install it manually. You have to install it. So how to install? Again, same procedure. Go to application, distribution, import. Then you will import the file. Okay. So you will download the file from here and you will import it. First, you have to import the data model and you have to enable that in the components. Then you have to download the second one, that is the next best action advisor template. Same way. For example, you need to search like this: financial services NBAD template Pega. I'm searching like this. So you see, I got this NBA designer template for retail banking. So this is what you have to download. So like I told you, if you download the data model, this will have all the classes, tables, properties related to banking. Okay, related to banking, those tables and properties will be there. Now, what does this will contain? NBA designer template. So this designer template will contain the OOTB sample categories and sample structure for you. Okay, that is what this will contain. For example, if you just go to this CDH, right? If you go to the actions, yeah, if you go to not the actions, if you just go to this application decisioning here, yeah. So if you come here, you can actually see there are some sample groups and sample categories are there. Right here, you see acquire, collections, grow, nurture, like this. Some categories and all those things are there, and some sample offers will also be there. So that is what this next best action designer template will install. So this template will install some sample offers related to banking. Okay, because you see this is next best action designer template for retail banking. So that you don't need to again create from scratch, you can just simply customize those existing categories and those existing offers. Okay, so that is what this template will install for you. So if you just see the preview, what it will install some sample structure like this. Okay, and some sample offers will be installed, some sample channels will be installed. Okay, all these things will be installed for you, so that you don't need to again recreate all these things. Simply you can modify the name, or you can simply save as this existing sample rules. Okay, understood? Any questions still here?
Uh, if we are using other domain, then how we have to handle that one? Like if it is already existing things like it is we can download and upload this one. But what about other domains?
So for other domains you have to create it manually. So Pega is providing, I think, four domains, right? If you see the previous screen, there are four domains like telecom, banking, I think e-commerce, and I think healthcare, something like that. Right? Four are there. So your business should be part of this. Otherwise, you have to create manually. You have to do from scratch.
Okay, we have to create the data model and we have to upload that one, right?
Right. So you have to create the data model and the you have to create all this from scratch. Okay, the business structure and all that. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what you have to do. Yeah. So we have, you can see in the first stage only, you will see some four, I think four industries are there. You see here four: communications,
Yeah.
healthcare, insurance, retail banking. So otherwise you have to do it manually. So there is some other option is there. I think there it will just give you some sample generic for all together, what all sample fields will be there, those sample fields will be installed. Okay, when you select other, so those fields are something like some common fields across all domains, something like customer id, first name, last name, full name. So these properties, right, this will be there in all the industries. But for example, if you take something like credit card emi, debit card payment, annual interest, these are something related to financial services only. Okay, so if you select other, only common properties will be installed, not specific to some domain. That's what will be done. Okay, so
Okay.
you need to select other at that time.
In if I select the other also, it will create some
Yes, yes,
templates,
it
right?
will create some
Okay.
template and it will create that. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So the purpose here is just to provide some kickstart for your application, so that you don't create everything from scratch. At least some sample data will be given to you, so that that sample data you can simply save as that, or you can understand how that is created in the same structure. You can also create in your application. So for that purpose only, these two things are there. First is the data model, that is a XCAR, extended customer analytics, which will contain tables, classes, properties, and columns and everything. This will contain the sample offers, sample categories, some sample emails will be there. All these things will be there in the NBAD template. Okay, so these two things you have to install before uh, manually, but now it is doing by Wizard itself. So now I click on start. So now this will take some time, maybe 5 to 10 minutes it will take. So this wizard will now create the application. It will install the data model. It will install the NBAD template. Okay, it will install the data model, that is the car. It will install the NBA template. It will also configure the context dictionary. That means the primary context, the properties. It will set up the properties. It is also creating a repository, IH repository. So this repository, like I told, if you are keeping millions of records, it will take up the space. So you can save the data to a Amazon S3 repository. Okay, you can take up the space and you can set it to Amazon S3 repository, so that you will not have that much load in your application. Along with this, it will also create so many auto-generated rules. So if you see here, you can just keep the note here what it is creating. It will create a lot of auto-generated rules. Yeah. So meanwhile, any questions, right? Let me know.
Yeah, actually here the context dictionary, how it will take, like we didn't mention anywhere, right?
Context dictionary will be taken from the XCAR. Okay. So like I told you, right? Pega will automatically create the customer classes. It will create some two classes, customer class and account class, like that. It will create some two classes. That class only it will set in the primary context also. See, it will automatically create some OOTB properties which are related to bank, along with the common properties like customer ID, first name, last name, email address, phone number. Along with that, like debit card, EMI, annual interest, personal loan amount, like that, it will create all those properties. Then that class only it will set as the primary context in the context dictionary. Okay. So later,
It
if you
will
want, you
set
can modify that.
it will
Yeah.
set by default to some sample, right? Here or
Sample class.
okay.
Okay.
We need
Yeah.
not to create before this, like the prerequisite. It is not a prerequisite to create the application, the context
Yeah,
dictionary.
not a prerequisite now, but previously it used to
Okay.
be. Now it is not a
Oh,
prerequisite. So simply you
okay.
can store the customer data into the class that it has created, or you can make that as a parent of your class, so that it will be inherited. Okay. But advice is you can store the data into that class which it has created. There only you can keep your customer data also. Okay, anyways, we'll see what it has created. So
Ravi,
you see,
for
right?
example, if I want to create same application personal edition, so
Okay.
are we able to get this frame on top of framework?
No, in personal edition you don't have this wizard. It will not be there.
Okay,
This wizard you have to practice in cloud edition only.
okay,
Yeah. If you are doing in personal edition, you have to do it manually, like I told you. First, you download this data model, install the data model. Then, what you have to do is you have to go to the uh, definition after you install, right? After you install, you have to go to the definition and you have to add the component. You see, this component is added by the wizard itself because you see in the setup it has already applied that success. Apply the data model. So you have to manually import it and you have to click on manage components. Then you will see this data model name will come after you install. You need to enable this and submit this.
okay,
Then the component will be added here. That's what you have to do. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what you have to do. And yeah, some additional rule sets will be created. I'll discuss what are those additional rule sets. Yeah. Go
Ravi, I
ahead.
am using personal edition only. First, what I will do, import and then component what I will add.
Import this data model. First you download this and install this in the dev studio. Then in the component you will see the name of that whatever you have installed. This is what I have
Okay.
installed. You need to select and enable that. Okay, I select this checkbox, click on OK. Okay, then it will come here. Okay, it will come here, then save the application. That's it. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is still, yeah. Okay, now I think it is completed 50%. So we can see, right, all these instances are getting created, the properties, you see adaptive models are getting created here. So all these are OOTB rules that will be created. So Pega, right, it will allow you to simply reuse whatever is being created instead of creating everything from scratch. Okay. So there are so many auto-generated rules are created here. Strategies, uh, data flows, activities, report definitions, properties, all these are getting created here. Okay. So now it is applying the NBAD template. That is what it is doing now. So right now the status is 50%. Yeah, let us wait for a few more minutes and the setup will be completed.
Ravi, should we also create this application parallelly so that assignments will be given on top of this?
Um, See, for you, I'll give a separate application, not the banking application. In our case, we have
Okay.
taken financial services. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll give some healthcare or something of some application. Okay. You can work on that. So like I
Yeah.
mentioned, every Friday you will be getting the assignment. So that is tomorrow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
when we do it on cloud, we have to take the backup daily, right?
Right. Right. You have to take the backup daily.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
show us how to take that
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I'll show.
import it?
I'll show it. I'll show it today.
Y- Yeah.
So
Okay.
once we are done with this, I'll show you how to do that.
Yes. Sure.
Okay. So one more advantage of this wizard is, so you are doing this in mm, dev environment, but you might have 4 to 5 environments like QA, SIT, pre-production, and all that. So you don't need to again do the same procedure in higher environments also. The the wizard, it has created a product rule so that you can simply uh, download this product rule and you can install it in your application in your higher environments. So just you can go to this product rule and you can download that and you can do that. Okay, just let me open. Oh, okay, okay. What happened? It's gone. I think it should be there. It will be there. Yeah, it is there. Okay. So if you go to the product rule, mm, yeah. Okay, not this one, right? Yeah, it is creating. It's not yet completed. Okay, that's the reason we did not have it yet, but it has just created the product rule. It is still adding more and more rules to that. That is the reason you are not able to see it. So once this wizard is completed, this product rule will also be there. So you can just download this product rule and you can upload it in all the other environments. So no need to follow again and again same procedure. Yeah.
This wizard will done the database mapping also, right? The Cassandra database that also done as part of this.
Yes, yes. Cassandra database mapping will also be done. So
Okay.
internal Cassandra will be mapped. Okay. Yeah. So again, if they want to use, you can use it. Otherwise, you don't need to use. Cassandra is like that, but it is a recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah.
In case we don't want to use, then we have to set it, right? That one, it is not showing anywhere in the wizard.
It is internal. It will not be shown. Internal, it will be created.
By default, it is taking internal, right?
Yes. 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 So by default it will be created, but again if you want to use it, then you have to do some additional configuration. If you don't use it, just it will be like that only without any usage. It will be like that only. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be there, but the interactions will not store in that. It
Not
will
be stored.
store what?
Nothing will be
Yeah,
stored in
okay.
that. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
One question. So to deploy this, as you said, there will be a product file created after this, right? That we can deploy to higher environment.
Right. Right.
So if any enhancement we do after creation of this application, so that we have to deploy together, or first we should deploy this first product and then the enhancement part, whatever we'll develop on this application.
First we have to deploy this product rule, then you have to create separate rules for those enhancements. You have to create separate product for that enhancements that you do. But this is the
Okay.
starting product. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So enhancement may go, separately with separate product
Separately.
rule. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this will take time, like 15-20 minutes, but definitely it will save a lot of manual work that you will do. Okay, because context dictionary saving it properly, generating the rules is time taking, because you have to create the classes, properties, columns. So this will automatically create exposed columns in the table, so that you can directly use it in report definitions and all those things in data flows and report definitions, because all those are created the columns and also properties, not only properties. So it will also expose the columns also. So that's the reason directly it will do. So if you are doing manually, you have to do it for a lot of properties, right? So this will take care by using this wizard.
This wizard introduced in 8.8 version or earlier also it is there?
So this is from 8.8 only. Yeah, I think it's from 8.8. So even for 8.7 also, you have to follow the manual procedure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So meanwhile, we will see some of the rule sets that are created in the application. Okay. So by default, right, whenever you are creating the application, the Pega application, you will have application rule set, application integration rule set, same way organization rule set, then organization integration rule set. Okay, same rule sets will be created in your Pega decisioning application also, but additionally, some more rule sets will be added to the application. So that is the first one. It is called artifacts rule set. Okay, it is called artifacts rule set. Second one that we have is NBAD tests rule set. NBAD tests rule set. So what is this artifacts rule set and what is this NBAD test rule set? So artifacts rule set contains all the auto-generated rules created by wizard or backend. Not only using the wizard, in Pega marketing also, whenever you are doing some configuration in the CDH portal, there will be some auto generated rules that will be created in the backend. All those auto generated rules will be stored in this artifacts rule set. Okay, it will be on the topmost layer. It is the topmost rule set layer. Second thing is, since the auto generated rules will be automatically stored in the artifacts rule set, the highest version of this rule set should be unlocked in all the environments. Because if it is locked, this auto-generated rules will not be able to create and it will throw the error and you will not be able to do your implementation. Because sometimes when you are doing some settings, some rules will be created in the backend. So for those to be created, you need to make sure highest version of this rule set is always unlocked in all the environments. The next advantage of this artifact rule set is since the highest version is always unlocked, this will act as production rule set for Pega decisioning, or Pega marketing. Okay, so this will act as a production rule set. That means you are facing some issue in the production environment. Directly you can modify that in the production rule set. Okay, that is artifacts rule set. Okay, and next advantage is used for any POC or feasibility related stories. Okay, because this is in the topmost layer, right? Whatever you keep, this will be picked. Okay, that means if you are keeping the rules rule set and artifacts rule set, whatever is in the artifacts rule set, that will be picked first. Okay, that will be picked first. That is the reason. So mainly this is the purpose of artifacts rule set. The most important usage is it is used to store all the auto generated rules. By default, Pega has configured that all the auto generated rules should be stored in artifacts rule set only. Okay, so that is the about this artifacts rule set here. The next one that we have is NBAD test rule set. So what is NBAD test rule set? So the purpose of this rule set is to store all unit test cases or test suite into this rule set. Okay, that means for example, um, just like in your core Pega application, right, you might be creating some test cases rule set, right? Same way in Pega decisioning also, you will be creating test cases. Those test cases will be stored into NBAD test rule set only. Okay, so that is the purpose of first purpose of this NBAD tests. Second thing is any kind of temporary rules created for testing, you have to store it into NBAD test rule set. So in the strategy, right, whenever you created a strategy, for testing the strategy, you will be creating some temporary rules like whether that strategy logic is working fine or not. To test that, you will be creating some temporary rules. Those rules you don't need to deploy it to the higher environments, right? So those you will be creating it in the NBAD test rule set. Okay, first thing is to store the test cases, test suite, or also to store the temporary rules that are created for testing purpose. Okay, so those testing purpose rules you will be keeping it in the NBAD test rule set. And rules created for automation testing, those will also be coming under NBAD test rule set. Simply this is like a test cases rule set for Pega decisioning. This is a test cases rule set. Okay, so these are the two additional rule sets that will be created using the wizard apart from the above rule sets. Okay, apart from the above rule sets, these two will be additionally created. This rule set format will be your application ID dash artifacts. Same way here also, your application ID dash NBAD tests. It means for example ABC dash NBAD tests, like this it will be. Same way here also ABC dash artifacts. Okay, if you give application ID like that, so like that it will be created. So now let us see the progress of this. Yeah, it is now completed. Okay, so now the application is ready, and follow the implementation guide to make the changes to the data model and the next best action configuration. Yeah, so we are done. Now go to the CDH. Yeah. So now you can see that we are going to the App Studio and we have successfully created our first decisioning application. Now the good part is all the time taking process like context dictionary, classes creation, tables creation, optimizing the columns, all this is taken care so that you can immediately jump into implementation part. Okay, you can immediately jump into the implementation part. So once let us review the context dictionary, what it has created. I'll go to the App Studio, to the settings, context dictionary. Okay, so go to the App Studio, settings, context dictionary. So you can see that it has created some rule sets. You see ABC dash rules is there. It has also created some customer class. So if you click on this, you can see right here. Yeah, this is the name of the customer class it has created. Harsha Trainings abc dash data dash customer. Okay, this is my customer class that it has created. Okay, so directly you can upload your customer data into this class only. Okay, you can directly upload it into this class only. And it has created some properties: full name, primary email, primary mobile number. All these are automatically created by the wizard only. So this is my customer class now. Directly I can go here and I can go to the data types. You will have your customer class. Okay, you see this is my prospect class and this is my customer class, I think. Yeah, this is my customer class and this is my prospect class. So prospect is nothing but the people who are interested in your company, but they are not yet customers. Like leads. Leads are nothing but the cost prospects who are not yet customers, but they have shown some interest in joining your business. Okay, so this is my customer class and you can see all the properties are also created. So if you see, I have some properties like credit score, debit to income ratio, then I have ease in collections. You see, count of credit card accounts, count of deposit accounts, uh, and if you see here, I have, yeah, all these properties are created here. Credit credit score stale, right? Credit score stale. See, all these properties are related to financial services. You see, credit score last updated time, debit to income ratio, right? All these are related to financial services. If you want to add new properties, simply you can add more properties, but Pega has automatically given you some sample properties for you to get started. Sample class name and sample properties. Columns, tables, everything are created in the backend. Okay, so this is how you can get started easily by using 8.8. Otherwise, you need to create these classes, tables, properties, columns. Then you need to identify the primary key. All these things you used to do manually, but now it is automated. Okay, simply you can import the customer data directly to this table. Okay, now coming to the rule sets. What rule sets are created automatically? Let us see that. So I go to the ABC definition. Yeah. 8.8.3. Yeah. So if you see here, there are some rule sets that are created. You see application rule set, application integration rule set, application dash rules rule set, ordination rule set, ordination integration rule set. Then I also have ABC dash artifacts. That is my artifacts rule set. Then I also have NBAD tests rule set. Okay, these two rule sets are also created for me in my wizard. Using my wizard, it is created. And you can also see the data model is also enabled. Okay, data model is also enabled. So now all my auto generated rules which are created using the wizard, those auto generated rules will automatically go to the artifacts rule set. So like I told you, in every environment, highest version of this rule set should be always unlocked. You see it is unlocked, right? You see it is unlocked, and you can see that 564 rules are stored into this rule set, because all the auto generate rules will go to here only. So remember that. Okay, you see here, 10 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, these rules are created, right? Okay, all those rules that are created 5-10 minutes ago, those all rules are stored here itself in the artifacts rule set. That is how the artifacts rule set is created. Okay, so you can use it for storing the auto generated rules, use it for production rule set. That means in production, if you want to do some changes, you can do it in the artifacts rule set only. You can use it for any POC or feasibility checking purpose also. Okay, clear whatever we have done today. Then same way you have
Actually,
NBAT. Yeah,
these two rule sets need not to deploy in our environments, right? Or how to deploy?
product rule is there, right? That's what I told, right? Product rule is there.
Yeah, that is correct. It is product rule is there. This once we done some changes, it will create. We created the
So
higher
once you do
version.
some changes, you should only create higher version. It will not create, right? You should only log this existing version is there. You lock this one, then you add a new version and you do the changes there. Okay,
Yeah, this
but
is kind of we are doing the setup kind of thing, right? Like some settings we are changing.
mm,
It is recommendable to deploy these rules to the higher regions, or we have to do these setups in higher region directly going to the App Studio. That is the better way.
no, directly you deploy this. That is enough. Okay. So if you deploy this, why will you do 2 times, 3 times in all the environments? You will do it only once and you will deploy the rules. That's it. Okay.
Okay, we have to deploy even this is
Mm,
production rule set kind of. Still, we have to deploy this one too.
right. You have to deploy this. Then no need to do again and again. Just deploy this. That is enough. Okay. Just you download this
Okay.
product file and import it in the higher environments. That is what we have to do. So if you see, right,
Yeah,
all the
this is
rules are
first
added.
time we are doing, right? Like initial
Mm,
thing.
right. Initial
Like
product.
yeah, once after that, like once we start doing some changes, we have to create higher versions and we have to deploy for these artifacts and then
Right. That's what I'm
NBA
telling.
rules. Yeah.
Right. Create a highest version, then you create a separate product for only that particular versions that you created, and you can deploy that. But this is the starting product that you have to deploy in the higher environments, which is having all the auto generated rules that we have seen, that is created by using the wizard. Okay, yeah. So then later on you can just create separate rule sets for artifacts, separate rule sets for NBAD tests, separate rule sets for rules rule set and all that. Okay, then those versions only you will create a separate product for that for those versions only. Okay, any other questions from anyone?
Ravi, this cloud version, so you will go to CDH and CDH to Production Studio. You will go back to Dev Studio and create application. What if I want to
Right.
come back to CDH again?
Yeah, you can go to launch portal CDH.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah, so sometimes you will also get the back to customer decision hub, one option will come. I'll show that
Fine.
also. Yeah, but in launch portal we can do that.
Okay,
So for example, mm, I click on launch portal. Let us wait. Okay. Yeah. so it is somewhat slow. But again, in real-time projects, it won't be much slow depending on your server. If your servers are good, then your application will be good. If your servers are slow, then your application will also be slow. It all depends on that. Now let us see the exporting part. How to take the backup day to day. Okay. So if you go to the configure application distribution export. So when you want to install, you will click on import. When you want to export, you have to click on export. So then what you have to do is uh, first thing, if you download this product file, that is enough. Okay. If you want to take the setup, that means if you want to take the initial setup, initial application, you can simply download this product file and store it in your local disk. But if at all you want to do some export of whatever changes that you have done, simply you can select the application here, then you can take the export like this here. Okay, that is one thing. But what I recommend is you can just download this product file and you can install this. Second thing is you can take this package here. So what you do go to the package, then here you can select where you want to create the product rule. You can select artifacts only, because see this I am showing you for the enhancements that you are doing, not for the initial application. For initial application auto generated rules, simply you can download this product file and you can import it on the next day whenever you are practicing. But for the enhancements that you are done, you can take the using the packaging option. Okay, using packaging option. So this all you need it. I think this all not needed. PDC and all these things. So then you click on next. Nothing next. Okay. So all these are not needed. So this you need this organization, right? You need this structure. So you need to click on next. So all these access groups you need it because they are your application related. You click on next. Operators you need those because you need to log in with that only, right? So these work queues are not required. You can ignore this work queues, and work groups are fine. Then data tables are required. Then you don't need all these things. Then the data tables are needed. You click on next. That's it. Okay, we are in the last step now. Then you can simply take the export option. That's it. So export, you can say day one or whatever, day one dot zip file like this, and you click on the OK button. So then you simply allow this and you download the file. That's it. So like this you can take the backup day to day. Every day you can take the backup like this. Then you download it. Okay, it will take some few minutes and it will download. After it is downloaded, you again, when you are starting the checking in the next day, you can go to distribution and import. Okay, you can go to the distribution and import, and you will select the file. That's it. Whatever that file that you downloaded, you select the file and you click on next, next, next. That's it. Okay, you click on next, next. That's what you have to do. Okay, but in your personal edition, once you created this application using the wizard, simply download this product and you can continue. No need to take the backup in personal edition, right? Only this one product you have to download from the cloud edition. You have to download this one product and you have to install it in your personal edition. From the next day onwards, you can directly start working. No need to take the backup. So only one time you have to take the backup for this particular product. Okay, I hope that you understood, right? Any questions, let me know. If you are working on cloud, then you have to take it daily. If you are working on personal edition, only you have to take this particular product. You have to install it in your personal edition. Then you can log into the ABC application and you can continue working. Okay. Okay. So I hope that you understood what we have seen. So any questions, right? Let me know. Otherwise, we can close.
Is it
Yeah.
possible to see the manual creation of that application?
No, in 8.8 we cannot see that. So I told you, right? You can try that. Creating application manually. How you do that? You create a new application, create a build from scratch. I think you need to select some UI kit or something there. Okay, then you need to proceed. How you create in PRPC the same way. Okay, yeah, I recommend
There's no
practicing in 8.8. Yeah,
there's no difference, right? It is normal application
yeah, no
creation.
difference. And next thing is
Uh,
99% of time you will not create the application. Your lead decisioning architect they will be creating or your manager will be creating that. Okay, so you don't need to worry about creating application. That will not be given to so junior or senior decisioning people. The leads will only handle that part. So just for our information, just for our understanding, we are seeing this how to create and all that. But creation part will 99% you will not be doing that. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we will see the implementation part. Now that we are done with creating the application, what is the next step? What we need to do to start the implementation? What we need to do? So that's what we are going to see in the tomorrow session.
Ravi,
Okay.
I have a
So
question.
yes, yes.
Uh, if we install the application in the cloud, suppose the organization is using in the cloud versions, still do we need to take the backup for this, or you are just we are taking backup only for the practicing purpose, everyday
So if you
application?
yeah, see the application is already having some sample application is there in the cloud environment. If you want to
Oh,
continue practicing in that, you can continue working there. But if you want to work in the custom assignment application which I have given, then you have to
oh.
take the backup every day. Okay,
No, no, no.
because
That's not my question. Suppose
uh,
if the organization is using in the cloud, cloud-based Pega applications, not in installing in every system
hmm,
kind of thing, uh,
hmm.
then we are still taking the backup there also, since it is a licensed version, or you are saying to take the backup only for our practicing purpose because it is not licensed.
Only for practicing purpose only I'm telling you. So
Okay.
not for other things. Only for practicing purpose. Since you need to have a flow, right? Whatever you are
Yes.
doing today, you created some strategy today. On the top of that, you are doing some other changes. So that for practicing purpose only, I'm telling you, because you need to have a flow and end-to-end workflow should be there when you are
Okay.
practicing. That's the
Okay.
reason.
In the real time, there is no need of backup. That's
No,
what you're about to say, right?
right,
That's
right,
the.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Got
Actually,
it.
the practicing cloud, they're doing refreshing every day or sometimes a certain period. That's why whatever we are doing the changes, it will lost. That's why we have to take
Right,
the backup.
right, correct.
Okay. Okay.
Because when you are practicing, right, and just if you close it now, it will be gone. Okay, again you have to
Yeah,
do
that's
see this
true.
ABC application which I created. If the server is stopped, then it will be gone. So that's the reason I have to take the backup. So I can simply
Okay.
download this file and take it.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, Ravi. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Ravi, in product file, we have to download. Next, what we will do in personal edition?
Um, you have to take the product file, you download it, and you have to install it. How to install? You have to go to configure, application, distribution, import. Then you select the file that you downloaded and select next. That's it. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So then you will
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
thanks.
new application. Then you can proceed with the next implementation part. Okay. What else? Okay, guys. So just we will connect tomorrow, and tomorrow will be the last demo session. you need to make your enrollment by before Monday. Maybe on Saturday or Sunday you have to enroll. Okay, so looking forward to see you all tomorrow. Just go through the recordings and try to learn whatever we have discussed till now.